Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's stream. So, I want to just first start off by saying welcome to everybody who's here. It looks like we've got 3 to 4 people here already, so that's super cool. Thank you guys so much for showing up and supporting the channel. We've got a lot of interesting things to talk about today, so I think it's going to be a really cool stream. But before we get into that, please consider hitting the like button on this stream. It really does help other people find out about the stream and, of course, the channel, and it really does help me out. So, with that being said, if you guys are new here, thanks for stopping by. And basically, the way these streams work is this is supposed to be a viewer-led stream for the most part. If you guys have anything you want to talk about cryptocurrency-wise, investment-wise, technology-wise, anything like that, please feel free to leave a chat in the live comment section. And in the past, we've been able to get to everybody's comments and touch on all the different topics that you guys are most interested in hearing about. So, with that being said, I guess I'll just start off with one of the topics that I want to say thank you for. Today is actually February 5th, which, if you're new here or if you remember, 1 year ago today was when the old Bitcoin Tips YouTube channel was deleted. So it's actually been a whole year since I uploaded the first video, which, just for fun here, I believe it was actually a dogecoin video. Let's see here, Bitcoin tips. So it was actually a Dogecoin video, I believe. Let's see, sort by date added oldest. Yep, so will Dogecoin reach $10 in February 2022? Or I'm sorry, 2021, we're in 22 now. But yeah, so that was basically the first video I uploaded on this channel. It was actually one that I had just uploaded to the other channel, so super cool. I can't believe it's already been a whole year on this channel, and as you can see, we're up to 4,500 subscribers, or just a little over actually. So thank you so much for the support, whether you've just shown up, just subscribed, or just tuned into this stream. It really does mean a lot. We've been able to grow so quickly over the course of just 1 year, which is super cool. Hopefully we can continue to grow. Crypto's in a little bit of a weird spot right now, which we'll be talking about here in just a little bit, but hopefully that doesn't affect the channel too much. So with that being said, we can probably circle back around to that as questions come in and all of that. But Mike, nice to see you here. I see you said good morning. Congrats on 1 year. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. I know you've been here since probably right around day one on this new channel, as well as I think you were here for a year or so, maybe a couple years on the other channel. So thank you so much for the support over the past few years, both on this channel and the old one. And I know you're commenting on most videos and streams and all of that, so thank you so much for that. And Hamza, welcome. Hey, right on time, of course. Welcome to the stream. Glad you were able to make it. And as you can see here on the screen, we actually have quite a bit of an interesting situation going on with crypto. If you've been watching prices over the last week, week and a half, 2 weeks here, it's been a little bit rough. You know, there's no way to go around that. But, you know, a lot of people lost quite a bit of money in some of their crypto holdings just because Bitcoin was going down, Ethereum was going down, and usually if those two are going to go down, so is the rest of the market. So that's something to keep in mind. But thankfully, actually, we are up about, you know, between 5 and 10%. I got an alert from Coinbase yesterday afternoon around 5 o'clock my time here, and it was saying Bitcoin was up 11% over the last 12 hours. And I was like, what? You know, that was not at all. You know, I had to read the notification a few times because I thought it was down. You know, I would have expected it to keep going down, but absolutely super cool to see this. And this is kind of the point that I was trying to get across in some of the videos that I've been doing recently about faucets is you never know when Bitcoin or when the crypto that you're claiming from a faucet is going to start going up. So always be claiming from faucets, always be collecting crypto regardless of the price. You know, I think it is one of the biggest mistakes is seeing Bitcoin, you know, drop from 50,000 to 35,000 or 30,000 in a few days. Of course that sucks, but I think the biggest mistake people will make is just saying, well, it's dropping in price, why would I continue to do anything with it? Well, yes, it's dropping in price, but you can make so much more happen because of that. So hopefully some people who saw those videos, whether you're new or, you know, experienced in crypto, learned something, and hopefully you guys were able to claim a good amount of crypto during that little bit of downtime. let's see here. Kent and Sean, nice to see you. Good morning. And yeah, you said every hodler. Yeah, so nice to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Looks like we've got 7 people here so far, so thank you so much for stopping in. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, please leave a live chat. And then Hamza said, yep, lots of green. That's super cool to see. You know, a lot of cryptos are up 10 to 15%. You know, most of them are up at least 5%. Like Litecoin 6%, Doge is just under 5%. Shiba's up here right under 10%. Super cool to see this much green. A lot of these red that you see are stable coins, you know, DAI, USDC, USDT, Binance USD, and then you get a few reds in there, but still super, super cool. Mike, you said looking forward to your second year. Would love to see a BTC chart analysis and your thoughts. Yeah, we can definitely do that. And yeah, the second year, you know, I don't plan to slow down or anything here on the, let's see, trading view, here on the channel. Pretty much, I think one of the things that we kind of touched on last week before I jump into that BTC chart here was the fact that crypto was going down this time last week. Unfortunately, crypto is very volatile, and that means the audience of something like Bitcoin Tips here on YouTube is also very volatile. If crypto isn't getting a lot of news coverage in mainstream media, people aren't seeing a lot of stuff, you're not seeing, oh my god, you know, this guy invested $4 and is now a millionaire in crypto, you're not going to get as many people searching. So that means videos like mine won't get as viewed as much, and that's just something you have to work around. It's part of, you know, what this kind of community is like. But I still hope to be able to take the take this downturn and bringing new videos, new content into the crypto YouTube space and continue to grow. But I am prepared for it to be a little bit slower. Like I said, it's just something that, you know, I'm already thinking about as we look at where crypto is going. And if crypto was to go back up, I would immediately reverse that thought and think, you know, the more crypto is going up, the more all-time highs are being broken, the more views you're going to get on YouTube. And I can absolutely see it in the analytics of the channel. So hopefully year 2 is just as good, if not better, but we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. All right, had to take a drink here. So let's see. Mike, you want to take a look at BTC real quick before we get into that, just so I don't feel like I'm ignoring anybody. Shadowman, you said hello. Nice to see you here. Seeing some new names in the chat today, so that's great. Welcome to the stream. And then Endless Routes, I see you said thanks for keeping us in the loop with crypto. Love the Faucet website's reviews, a lot of helpful information. Well, hey, I'm super glad that that helps you out. Like I said, I've said this in other streams here, but if you ever find a faucet or a site that you'd like me to take a look at, comment on any one of the videos. If you're not a part of the Discord, first join the Discord, message me over there, you know, just tag me in a general chat or something like that, or comment on any of the YouTube videos that I've uploaded, and the way YouTube comments come into me is they just show up as they come in, so even if it's an older video, I'll still see it. I will say though, sometimes YouTube does remove comments if you post a link, so be careful with that. If you don't get a review from me, that's probably why. But super glad you've been able to get some help from the faucet videos that I've been doing, and I plan to continue doing more single site reviews versus the larger, you know, multiple sites in one video type of review, because I think that those are a little bit more popular. So with that being said, I know I skipped around in the chat there. We'll come back to that, but Mike wanted to take a look at the chart here. What we can see here, this is the Bitcoin day chart. So each candle represents a day, if you're not familiar with the charts here. The last time, so Bitcoin here, this was January 22nd, so just a few days ago, you know, a week or so ago here, Bitcoin was bouncing right around the $35,000 limit. Now, the last time that we were at this limit was back in July of 2021, after we had hit that 64,000 limit and fallen back down. You can see it tested this limit here a few times, fell a little bit further, and then took off again. We may have seen this, you know, this little bit of a pattern here. If we zoom in on the last few days here, you can see there's been a really nice uptrend from this bottom point. It's been kind of following this level. So Of course, last night that really changed. So this line, depending on where we go and close today, this line could just be like this, and it could start following this trajectory, depending on where this candle closes. I wouldn't be super surprised if it closed on this line. It kind of fell back down, but continued to go up. But that's just a prediction, of course. And again, this level of 35,000, we weren't here for over 8-9 months here, so that's super cool. I don't think we're going to be falling much further. If we get back down to this 35 level and it breaks through that and continues to fall through, that is something that is possible, and at that point I think we would see that drop down to right around the 29,000 to 30,000 range. I don't want to see that happen, but that's just kind of what the history looks at. And then if we did break through that 29,000 level, unfortunately I wouldn't be super shocked if we fell back down to right around 20,000. Now, there have been some things with looking at the charts, Fibonacci, stuff like that do indicate that Bitcoin could drop back down to that $20,000 level, which, unfortunately, it is something that could happen. Crypto's very cyclical. There is that crypto winter that is kind of looming over everybody. That's kind of what we thought this was. The way that the crypto winter works is usually 6 to 8 months of consolidation. So you could see the prices drop as much as 80%, 75 to 80%. That's completely normal. And sit there and not really do much, just trade sideways for 6 to 8 months, or even possibly a year or two, kind of like what we saw after 2017. Bitcoin fell from 20,000 back down to 10, and eventually back down to like 2,500 to 3,000. Pretty big drop. That's quite a bit of value lost. And then out of nowhere, here we are, 2020, 2021. It starts taking off again, and it has to do with the Bitcoin halving, and there's a lot of stuff that goes along with that. But we are in that time where if a crypto winter was to happen, personally, I wouldn't be super surprised. It would suck. It's part of crypto, but I wouldn't be shocked, and I don't think you guys should be either. And again, when something like that happens, faucets are super important to keep using, and even other sites out there, just keep trying to collect as much crypto as you can while the prices are low. So don't get discouraged. Like I said, if you watched my last, I think it was the last video about mining, there's two types of miners, in my opinion. The miners that are trying to make as much money as possible, and the miners who believe in the cryptos they're mining. If you are the first type of miner, then absolutely you're going to care about whatever the price of the crypto is that day, because you're going to be selling your crypto that day. If you're mining the crypto to collect it because you believe in its future, you shouldn't care if it's, if Bitcoin isn't the one you're mining, you shouldn't care if it's $41,000 or $4,100. You would actually, if you believe it's going to continue going up, want it to be $4,100, because you could mine or, collect from faucets so much more because of its cheaper price. So that's just one way of looking at it, but yeah, so hopefully that helped you out there a little bit. If you still have questions, Mike, let me know. We can come back to that, but I see we've got some other chats here. We got a little bit more people in today's stream, which is super cool. I'm glad to see the streams are getting a little bit more popular. So going back up, Kenshawn, you said, once again, guys, stocks and minting has been pumping. This tends to be a bull trap. Big sharks pump on the weekend banks, and Wall Street can't pump anymore, and the next speculative asset. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I see what you're saying there. That is something that you do have to keep an eye on. Wall Street is closed. The big exchanges are closed on the weekend. There isn't much trading going on, just crypto. So that's a good point. I hope that's not what's happening, but there is a possibility. Crypto is still very volatile. And, with where we're at right now, I'm honestly very confused. I don't really know what to think of the current market, because it was going down. I mean, right now, we just dropped, what was that, $4,000 in a second, and it's been doing this all morning, so it should snap back right up to right there, 41,000. That could be an API issue with this site. I'm not sure. That seems like a big jump, $4,000 every few seconds, but it's possible. So, there could be someone out there who's got a ton of money in Bitcoin, and they've got a trading bot that says, if someone sells and the price drops below X dollar, purchase more so it jumps back up. And that's very possible. So, let's see here. Talked to Endless Routes about the faucets. He said thank you. So yeah, no problem. Glad you were able to stop in. And like I said, I'm really glad those videos are helpful. It's always nice to receive feedback, whether it's good or bad. If you came in and said, I liked the idea of this last video, but it wasn't really helpful, could you talk about this? That helps me out make better content as well. So, Hamza, you said, do you think Dogecoin can hit 70 cents again? Absolutely. I Dogecoin is one of those things that really threw everybody in crypto off. If we take a look at it a little bit closer here on the chart, I don't need to see the whole chart. Let's look at a year. Can I go longer than a year? Oh, I guess that works. So Dogecoin up here, 60, 70 cents. We'll go 70 cents is what you said. When Dogecoin first crossed into that, I think it was like 4 to 8 cents the first night. I remember I was at work and I got a notification from Twitter or something. I was like, Dogecoin's 2 cents. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I hadn't looked at Dogecoin in probably a year. I had it and I had forgotten about having it and all that, but I was like, 2 cents, that seems like where it usually is. Well, then I started looking into it a little bit more, and when I always used Dogecoin, it was multiple, tenths, hundredths, thousandths of a penny, not 2 cents. So I thought, oh my God, like what's going on? Continued to watch it throughout that night, and it made it up to 8 cents. And I was like, this is insane. I would have never thought Dogecoin could get to 8 cents. Fell back down to about 4, and then obviously we know what happened after that. If you had asked me on February 5th last year if Dogecoin could hit 70 cents, I would have been absolutely not. That is insane. But it happened. And that's the point I'm trying to get to here is if I think Dogecoin will hit 70 cents again, it did it once, why would it not do it again? I think the market currently does not support Dogecoin going to 70 cents again, but if Bitcoin was to get back up to its $70,000, Ethereum was 4,500 to 5,000, the rest of the market was back up into the 2 or 3 trillion overall market cap, absolutely I could see Dogecoin hitting 70 cents again. And unfortunately with Dogecoin, it does have a lot to do with Elon Musk, Tesla, and other big, like Mark Cuban, I believe was the other guy that was pretty big in Doge. It's got a lot to do with them. Dogecoin is one of those coins that, yes, it's a meme coin, but it has the potential to be really, really valuable in the real world. And as more people start accepting it and moving into the crypto space using Dogecoin, that's just going to drive the price up. So the more people we can get to actually use Dogecoin, the higher the price will go. So right now, I don't foresee Dogecoin hitting 70 cents in the next, few days to a couple weeks, but who knows? Yesterday morning when I woke up, Bitcoin was like 35,000. So it's currently 41,000. It's up $6,000, 10% here in just, 24 hours. So that's something to think about. If this happens again and Bitcoin goes up another 20% overnight tonight and another 10%, sorry, then absolutely I think Dogecoin will start to come with it, as will the rest of the market. We might see Doge get back up to 30, 40 cents if Bitcoin keeps going. And then at that point, we'll start seeing some more news coverage in crypto. And the more news coverage we get, the more new people coming into crypto, which means more new money coming into crypto. And it just snowballs from there. So absolutely, we just have to wait and see, what goes on with it. But Kenshawn, you said my Fibonacci says downtrend because of daily candle tested a hard resistance at 42. Led by Thursday's pump, 24,000 is my next target. My Fibonacci is following the exact .com bubble for easy cues. Well, like I said, I've heard that and I've seen that 24,000, 20 to 24,000 is probably where Bitcoin will be during the next crypto winter or crypto bear market, however you want to refer to it. Like I said, I of course don't want that to happen, but I think at some point it will. And that's, like you said, you're following the .com bubble. It's a pretty good one to follow with. It's kind of similar, I would think. A lot of hype around it, a lot of, people that think this is it, this is how I'm going to get the yacht and retire on the private island. But definitely, something to think about. Like I said, I think everybody should be prepared for that to happen, because the worst that is going to happen, if you are prepared and it doesn't happen, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. That's the worst that's going to happen. So if you're mining, if you're claiming from faucets, if you're holding crypto, be prepared to see Bitcoin at $20,000 to $24,000. Be prepared to see Ethereum, maybe 1,000 to 1,500. Just be prepared for that. So it's definitely interesting in crypto to see where everything's going to go, but all we can do at this point is just kind of watch it and wait and see where it goes. But so real quick, I see we've got about 9 to 10 people in the stream right now. So if you guys are new here, please leave a live chat if you have anything you want to talk about related to crypto, investing, technology, anything like that. So far, we've been able to get to everybody's chats. Thanks again for stopping by. So Mike, you said, what's your vision for the channel? What do you want people to remember about your channel a few years from now? That's a really good question. The original reason why I started the first Bitcoin tips was because when I went through and I was learning about Bitcoin, because originally when I started it was just Bitcoin, there was, Litecoin, and I'm not even sure Ethereum, if it was around, it was not nearly like it is today. But when I first started, it was just Bitcoin. I was learning about Bitcoin, and I came across the site Free Bitcoin, and I remember the day after a week of claiming on that faucet, manually going in, filling out the robot thing, and hitting claim. When the first transaction, I think it went from Free Bitcoin into a Coinbase wallet. Now remember, it was 14 cents at the time. I was just blown away that it worked. I couldn't believe that, 14 cents, that's nothing. But it was something that it was actual money, or at least it showed up that way, that I had earned from clicking a button online. And this is so cool. I want to, get other people to do this. This is going to be the next big thing. So I started that, sharing faucets, learning about, cloud mining sites, investment sites, faucets, how to get started for free. And my goal was to really help people who maybe thought stocks were interesting but didn't have the money to get into it. Or, even today think, well, crypto's super interesting, but I don't have $40,000 to buy a Bitcoin. I don't even have $2,400 to $3,000 for an Ethereum. Maybe I don't feel comfortable investing $100 for a Litecoin. But that's, what I'm trying to get across is, if you're interested in crypto, you don't have to have millions of dollars to get started. You can start as long as you have a device that's connected to the internet, which, if you're watching this video, you do. That's what's super cool about it. You can't do that in any other asset class like real estate or stocks or bonds. You have to have the money up front. So that's what's super cool about it. And I've been considering doing some changes to the channel. I haven't really thought too much about it. I haven't really decided where I'm going to go, but I'm considering changing up the style of videos to possibly include more than just screen recordings, which I've never personally included myself in the video, but it is something that I have been considering. I mean, if you guys that are here, what would you think of that as an idea? Like I said, I'm not sure how I feel about doing that, but it's been something that's been on my mind. Thought maybe add a little bit more of a personal touch to the videos and possibly gain some new viewers. So that's kind of what I hope that, people that found my channel this year look back 2 or 3 years from now, maybe they have made a couple $1,000s or maybe even more from crypto and thought, wow, that 10-minute, 15-minute video I watched, back then really helped me out and, allowed me to get into crypto and maybe even allowed you to branch out into newer investments as well. So that's kind of the goal of the channel here. But Endless Routes, you said, are you familiar with CryptoTab browser? Yes, I've done some videos on CryptoTab. I think it's a great way to get started mining if you have, I'll say, non-traditional mining devices. So if you're mining on tablets, phones, maybe a laptop or a Mac, that's a great way to get started. But if you're serious about mining and you want to try and maximize your profits and you're mining on Windows, I would look into NiceHash. If you're mining on Mac, I would look into MinerGate. Those are both pretty good. They take fees, but you're going to find fees anywhere you go. CryptoTab, the way it works is it mines through your browser, which isn't going to give you as much efficiency as running a command line miner like what NiceHash or MinerGate is going to do. So you're not getting your full potential. CryptoTab's great for testing out the waters, seeing if mining is something you want to do, but I'm not a huge fan of it overall. You know, I think it's a great product, but I've never used it for an extended period of time. That's kind of my thoughts on it. I don't really know a ton about it. I just know kind of how it works, and that it does work. It's just not something that I would mine on consistently. Like I said, NiceHash or MinerGate is probably the way I would really push a lot of people to go if you're trying to get into mining and not, you know, investing in big mining rigs that could be more efficient on a Linux operating system. So that's kind of my thoughts. If you have more questions on CryptoTab, let me know. I can always do a review on it as well. I know I've done a video, I'm just not sure when the last one was. But let's see. Mike, you said thanks. Could you look at Digibyte and let us know how you feel about its future? Yeah, Digibyte here. And real quick before we go into the Digibyte, I'm not sure how to say your name. I'm just going to say the Jungle Frog. I am seeing your comments here. We're just kind of going down the list, so I just wanted to make sure you didn't think I was ignoring you. But, yeah, let's see here. I'm sure TradingView's got a Digibyte. I don't want to join for free. Let's go back, maybe. There we go. All right, search markets, DGB, Digibyte to dollar. I think this should be it. 2 cents. Yeah, Digibyte. Okay. Digibyte's had a little bit of a weird past. Digibyte was actually the first coin that I ever mined. You know, back in 2017 when I first built my mining rig, this was the first coin that I mined, and the Digibyte that I have today was actually the coins that I mined. So let's see, 2017, well, they only go back to 18, so never mind. But let's see, Digibyte was around 15 to 16 cents. You know, if you sold at the top of this candle, it was around 18 cents, it looks like. It's currently trading at 2 cents, so it's lost quite a bit of value. Digibyte is one of those smaller coins that a lot of people don't know about, I would say. You know, it's not new, but it's not very big. It's not, you know, in the top, I don't think it's in the top 50 on CoinMarketCap anymore. You know, it used to be a lot more known. Let's see here, DGB. It's 154, so you wouldn't even find Digibyte on the top page of CoinMarketCap. So, you know, I think it's got a lot of potential. It's a very different coin. There haven't been a lot that I've seen that allows you to mine the coin on 5 different algorithms. Let's see, I got lost in the tabs. I only have 4 of them. But it looks like it's been kind of testing this resistance right around the 2.5 cent level. Hopefully it bounces along there and kind of comes back up, but you can see that back here in 2020, we were below that 1 cent or that 2 cent level. You know, it did shoot up here, and it kind of, you know, looks like it tested this resistance around the 8 cent level here a few times. It tried to again back here in November. You know, it's on a downward trend. I wouldn't, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. I wouldn't hold your breath for Digibyte to go back up super well at this time. You know, it's one of those smaller coins. I think if the rest of crypto starts going up, similar to Dogecoin, you know, except Dogecoin's probably got a lot more of a chance to go up on its own. You know, Digibyte doesn't have, you know, big, you know, Elon Musk or Mark Cuban behind it. It's really just kind of doing its own thing. I think for Digibyte to start going back up, we need to start seeing a lot of movement in the crypto markets in the upward direction overall. So, you know, with that being said, I do think Digibyte's a good coin. It's one of those ones that I still am holding, you know, after 4 years. You know, probably should have sold it earlier this year at the 18 or 19 cent level, or, you know, anywhere in this level here. But I didn't, and that's just kind of part of crypto. So, you know, we'll see. It is what it is. You know, I guess we'll go from there. But, you know, it's one of those coins that if you have it, I wouldn't sell it unless you absolutely need the money. Just hold on to it, and hopefully it gets back up there at one point. And if you're not in desperate need of whatever the coin is worth in fiat, just hold on to it. You know, there's no sense in selling it if you're going to lose money unless you absolutely need that money. So, all right. So the Jungle Frog here said, "So glad I held like a Chad. All of my friends were freaking out." And then he said here, "It's okay because when the prices go down, you get paid out more coin from faucets you mine on phone. Farm is always satisfied. There's no personal money involved." Hey, that's exactly what I've been trying to, you know, get across in the videos. You know, I've received comments on this channel, on the old channel, that were like, why are you recommending this site? You're saying great high paying faucet. It's not high paying. You're only getting a few cents an hour. And it's like, well, yes, that's true. A lot of sites will most of the time only pay you a few cents per hour, but some of them, like Free Bitcoin, you do have the chance to win $200. Most people don't make $200 an hour. Now, you're not gonna get that every single hour, but the point is, like the Jungle Frog said here, you're just going to be claiming and building up your holdings of whatever coins you're claiming. So that's what's super cool about it. I hope to try and get that across to people and teach new people in crypto that just because the prices are going down, or just because faucets are paying you a small amount of crypto, doesn't mean that they're worthless. So definitely something to think about as well. Kenshawn said the downtrend will wash out the scam Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, new falling or outright scam coins. Many protocols and governance tokens. Locked value will be washed out. Gas fees will be a strain. So yeah, that's a really good way of looking at it. That's one of the things that I think is really unfortunate about crypto right now. And, it's hard to say. I'm personally not a fan of the smart chain type of stuff. I see the idea behind it, but I'm not a fan of it. It's one of those things that, it's hard to say. I find the smart chains, Binance and all that, super hard to understand. They're, in my opinion, too complicated, and it's just one of those things that I don't really use if I can avoid it. There's 1 or 2 coins that I have in the smart chain, and really, from my experience, they're too much of a headache to even be worth it. And unfortunately, there's a ton of scams and, pump and dump schemes and stuff like that in the smart chain because it's so easy to create, disappear, create again, disappear again, and, unfortunately, people are losing money. Now, again, I think that it is on the individual investing to do some research, really outweigh the costs to risk and all of that, but there are people that are new in crypto that are excited about it. When I first started in crypto, I definitely lost some money. It was obviously faucet money, so it wasn't the end of the world, but there was a period of time, a few months into my crypto exploration and kind of learning about it, that there was a cloud mining site that was paying me, it was a couple dollars a day, nothing crazy, and I had invested about $20 worth of faucet money into that site. I think it was like right around $20, maybe $30. They ended up closing down and disappearing, and I lost that money. And I remember I was like, I'm done with crypto. This is stupid. It took a while to get that. They just ran away with it. There's nothing I can do. And I didn't touch crypto for a few months, and, through one thing or another, I guess I got back into it, obviously. But it's part of crypto. Inevitably, everybody in crypto is going to lose some amount of money at some point, whether it's a mispasted address that just sends the crypto somewhere that will never be found, or it's a site that is really trusted that goes down for some reason, like Express Crypto. No one saw that one coming, but, that's just one of those things. So it is what it is. I guess I hope Kenshawn is right there and it does get rid of some of those scams and stuff like that, because I think those are a really big hindrance to the entire crypto community overall. But let's see, the Jungle Frog said, I think Anonymity is good. I've been using the Nano ETH mining, no fees, really good for older cards like my 2060 to get a full $2 a day. Oh, yeah, that's nice that you're still able to get a couple dollars a day from some of those. I mean, 2060 isn't a bad card. Like I said, I'm still running 1060s on a couple of my rigs, so 2060 is not that bad, in my opinion at least. It's not as good as a 3060, but it's better than a lot of people have and are able to get right now anyways. So Hamza, you said, yeah, I think it's a good idea to use Facecam. It'll engage more audience. Okay, that's something I'll definitely take into account. Like I said, I've never done anything like that on the old channel or the new one, but it's something that I have been thinking about, engaging a little bit more, having a little bit different style of video. I've been trying to make the videos a little bit longer as well, between the 10 and 15 minute range, so I don't know if that's helping out. I've noticed a little bit more of an increase in views because of that, and I think it's because YouTube promotes a little bit longer videos, so trying a little different things here to continue the growth, but I will definitely take that into consideration. Endless Route, she said, do you have a mining rig, ASIC, or GPU? Right now I have two GPU rigs running 580s, 1060, and a 1660 Ti. It's kind of a mixture. I don't have ASICs anymore. I did have, what was it? It was a Bitmain Antminer. I think it was a T9 Plus. It was a 10.5 terahash Bitcoin miner. This was back in 2017. ASICs are super cool. I'd love to get into them a little bit more, but if you don't have a couple $100,000 easily to start, it's not that worth it, unfortunately, especially nowadays. Bitmain did announce that they, excuse me, that they have a new miner coming out that's like the Hydro or something. Bitmain, let's take a look at it. It's like this Hydro 195 terahash. Yeah, this thing. S19 Pro Hydro. 198 terahashes coming soon. It's all liquid cooled, super cool. I would love to get something like this, but you have to input, AC voltage, 342 volts. That is so much power. You're never going to find that in a residential, home or setting. These things are loud. Well, this one obviously not because it's going to be liquid cooled, but these are loud. They suck power, 5,400 watts. That's crazy. 198 terahashes, that's probably making, maybe $20 to $25 a day, if not a little more. That would be super cool to get, but you got to have so much, and these are anticipated to be anywhere between probably $15,000 to $25,000 a machine. That's just a guess. That's what I've seen online. It is what it is, but something to think about. I would love to get into ASICs again, but without having like a whole warehouse for them, in my opinion, it's not worth it. And they're so risky where once it, there's that hard stop limit in the difficulty and price. If Bitcoin gets too cheap or the difficulty gets too high, this thing essentially becomes a paperweight. Unless you can somehow decrease your electrical cost, and at that point, the value drops from, $20,000 to maybe $1,000. No one's going to want to buy it unless you can find someone that's got half your power rate that's looking to buy these. So, it's a very risky part, whereas with GPUs, you can still sell GPUs if they're no longer profitable, and other people will buy them, whether they're video editors or gamers or, just need an upgrade or need more GPUs. So I prefer GPUs, but I do think ASICs are really cool and would really like to have some more of them, but I don't see it in my future anytime soon. The Jungle Frog said, all good, bro. Been watching your channel for a long time now. Actually, your channel and a couple other small channels changed my life. Hey, that's super cool to hear. That's kind of going back to what Mike asked a little bit earlier in the stream, where he said, what's the vision for the channel? Is really... The goal is I'm hoping that it helps people out learning a little bit about crypto. Bitcoin is super complicated when you're just looking at it if you don't have any experience with it. And with all these smart chains and stuff, it's just gotten more complicated. So the goal is to kind of try and make it a little bit easier to understand and show people that you don't have to be rich to invest. And I'm glad to hear that it's helped you out and you've been able to make a little bit of money with crypto and continue to learn a little bit more about the technology, because I think this kind of technology is going to have a place in the future for sure. I don't know what that will look like, but still something to think about it. I think it's a really cool thing, and I'm glad that this YouTube channel has allowed me to help you out and allowed you to have a better life in whatever way that means to you. All right, had to take a drink there, but Mike, you said, have you heard of any new upcoming projects like BTT and Shiba? I did a little bit of research on the BTT stuff over this last week. I know they increased, I swapped my BTT, they've got a much higher market cap now. I'm not sure what they're planning on doing with it. And then I know Shiba is going to try and make their own chain or switch chains or something because it's so expensive with Ethereum fees. I don't know a ton about either of them. I do still have Shiba and I do still have BTT. Right now I'm just holding on to it. Obviously the prices are down, even though they are up today. They're still down from where they were. I think it's just one of those things that hopefully they can do what they're hoping to do, and we can see where it goes from there. I think it's one of those things that if you're holding the coin, again, just hold on to it. They're moving in the right direction. New things are coming out, and, we'll see where everything's going. Ken Shawnee said, I realize CoinPot, free Bitcoin, and other faucets take up my time for a few cents. Doing faucets for 4 years, moving on to airdrops through smart chains and new chains to my wallet brings more money. Yeah, that's a really good point as well. I've done a few airdrops. I've never had much luck with the airdrops, and again, that's one of those things that I find a little confusing, depending on the airdrop, depending on the project, but that's just my personal experience with it. Like I said, I prefer faucets mainly because you can, if you do the initial setup, you can really make it pretty autonomous, where if you invest in something like the faucet collector bot, or you maybe don't even want to invest in that, you could just use things like Dutchy faucet, Fire faucet, Auto faucet, all of those to really just, you set up and do the initial work, create the accounts, set up your Loot TV and Hideout TV account, and then, set it up and just let it run. Really, if you just do that, it takes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes of maintenance every day or even every other day, and you'd be making money 24/7. So it's really cool. It's kind of another way of mining almost, but you're obviously not going to be making as much, but you're not going to be spending anything either. As long as you have your computer or your phone that can connect to the internet, it's pretty much completely free money from there with very little work. So, the Jungle Frog said to Mike here, Dogelon and UFO are two micro caps that are a good amount of liquidity on KuCoin. Okay. And then Mike said, LOL, the first Bitcoin faucet paid 50 BTC per claim. I'm sure it was only a few cents per hour. Oh, yeah, that's a great way to put it. I've heard of faucet paying like 5 Bitcoin every 15 minutes or something. So, imagine back then. It's crazy to look back on it, and we're 11 or 12 years into crypto. Think about, I hope to be, 5-10 years from now doing another, 5-year Bitcoin Tips YouTube stream. Think about what Bitcoin will be at in 5 years. We'll be going through another halving, or we already would have. Just think about that. We could be talking about this and say, hey, remember Bitcoin faucets? When people were complaining, saying it was a waste of time because they were only getting a few cents. Well, now you can't claim from them anymore. So it's just something you got to look at. So, like I said, even if it's a few cents, you're still getting some amount of crypto. So, but let's see here. Shadowman, you said with mining or faucets, $1 today could turn into 10 tomorrow. Exactly. That is a great way to put it as well. That's one of those things that you spend a few minutes here and there every day, you could really end up with quite a bit of money in the next bull market. So, like I said, whether that bull market is starting, today, or it starts in a year from today, you're still going to make money as long as you've been claiming. So, definitely really cool. But, let's see. So, the Jungle Frog said without putting money into it, I'm assuming you're talking about a faucet or a site. And then you said, true, I always get my money out of the faucet into Ledger or into a KuCoin for temporary. Yeah. If you can avoid it, I always recommend don't put any of your coins on a website like Express Crypto. You never know what's going to happen. Unfortunately, there is a lot of things that offer really good interest rates, for holding coins on the site. That's something you got to think about is this interest rate worth it to take on the risk that this site could get hacked, they could go down? Even if they're a legitimate site, doesn't mean that they won't have something like a drive failure like what Express Crypto said they had. It's possible. It's one of those things you got to keep in mind. So, storing it in a personal wallet or a hardware wallet is always the best way to go. But, some people prefer to take a little bit more risk. So, Ken Chun, you said, I will teach anyone a safe and secure way to feel optimistic about gaining in Solana or Polygon on the Binance chain, all safely earning airdrops by simple tasks in early verified projects. Yeah. Like I said, I don't do a ton of work in the smart chains. I've got the Space Coin, which is a mixture between the Binance chain and the Polygon chain. And from that experience, I'm not a fan of the smart chains. It's, like I said, in my opinion, pretty confusing because there's a lot of different ways you can go where it's like you've got, using Space Coin as an example, you have Space Coin on the Binance chain, token ticker Space. You've got Space Coin on the Polygon chain with the same ticker symbol of Space. Well, if you send it to the different address, it's not going to show up because it's one coin. It's not the same coin. So I just find it a little bit confusing. And it's one of those things that is just super out of there. You know, I really struggle to understand it, and I've been in crypto for so long. But Endless Routes, thank you so much. That's crazy. So Endless Routes, you just put $4.99 for the chat. That's actually the first time anyone's ever done one of the super chats. So thank you so much. He said, "Thank you for a great live stream. Keep growing your channel and growing your mining operation. Growth is wow, stuttering. Growth is key to my friend." So, and then he said endless. So thank you so much for that. If you're taking off, thank you so much for stopping in. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the support. It's people like you that help really grow the channel. And thank you for being subscribed. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that people are enjoying the live streams, enjoying the content on the channel. Like I said, I have no plans to slow down or stop here on the channel. So again, Endless Routes, thank you so much. That does mean a lot. So coming back up here in the chat, I'm falling a little bit behind here, but let's see. So the Jungle Frog said, "My outlets cannot handle ASICs, but hopefully I can get a second GPU one day. I like GPUs because they can find more coins and possibly resell at a reasonable price." That's a great way to put it as well. If you don't understand power, at least the basics of it, ASICs can be pretty dangerous. You know, I ran my ASIC on a regular 120 outlet here in North America, and it was borderline. It probably should have been on a 220. It was pulling right about the max of the breaker, so definitely something to keep in mind. But yeah, GPUs are the way to go, I think, especially if you're just starting. If you've got a ton of GPU rigs and are doing really well and can afford some ASICs and understand the infrastructure that's needed to run them, absolutely. I would, like I said, I would love to get back into ASICs, but it's a big investment, and if you don't, the bigger you go, the easier it is to recoup that. So with GPUs, it's kind of the opposite. You can start pretty small and build up from there. But let's see here. Mike, you said, "Have you heard about when ETH mining will stop? Which coin will you mine after ETH goes to 2.0? I'm not sure. I know Ravencoin's pretty popular. I've mined Ravencoin before. I have to look into it a little bit more, and I know they keep talking about doing it sooner and sooner, but it's Ethereum. It's going to keep getting pushed. I would say, if I had to take a guess, probably we'll still be mining Ethereum by the end of 2022. I'm guessing it'll probably be sometime in 2023 that they make that official switch, but who knows? And I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with my mining equipment. I might be looking to sell and upgrade, or, you know, I'm not sure yet. It's going to depend on what's going on with crypto. You know, if this weekend bull run lasts kind of like what Kenshan was saying, we might be looking into selling some GPUs. I'm not sure if the bull run continues past the weekend through next week and maybe the week after. You know, that's something to keep in mind, that mining's going back up. It's worth it a little bit more. So, let's see. Endless Routes, you said, "I'm a GPU miner also. I like being able to pick and choose what coin I believe in and mine." That's another big plus to GPUs as well. That, you know, being able to have that flexibility where, oh, you know, this coin that I'm mining, it's no longer profitable. While I still believe in it, I do want to be making some money. I'll just, you know, download a new config file and put it into the miner and start mining this coin. Or, you know, I don't like mining this pool. I guess you can switch pools on ASICs, but still, that's a really good point as well, by having that flexibility. Jackson, nice to see you here. You said, "Have I looked into Now to Trade?" I got a message. It might have been you I was talking to in the Discord, but I have not. Whoop, not secure. Now to Trade. Well, let me know if this is the site, because I can't access it. Now2trade.com, Jackson, if that's it. I can't access it. So I'll look for a comment here in a minute. But Ken Shun said helium is the cheapest thing to install and mine. Helium mines by proof of coverage instead of proof of work or stake. This is networking to block rewards. Yeah, I've looked into helium before. I did want to get into helium, but at the time, it was too risky for me to invest in because the miners, they were a few $100s, which I could have dealt with, but the shipping time was like 8 to 12 weeks. So you were looking at a few months before you could possibly see your miner. The way that crypto is, I looked at it and I said, this is too risky for me. So much can happen to a crypto in 3 months. It could be, you could be making $40 today. In 3 months, you could be making $80 a day, or you could be making $8 a day. And that was just not a risk I was willing to take, and I decided to not get the helium miner. So helium's really cool. I know we have another viewer here that usually is in, I can't think of his name right now. I know I'm subscribed to him on YouTube, but he does a lot of helium mining, and he's had really good success with it. So I would still like to get into helium, but it's just right now not feasible for me to do. So let's see. So the Jungle Frog said, right now I'm mining an ETH nano pool, but then CPU mining Elon's gets good rates for mining. Right now I'm unmineable on a Ryzen 2600 and 2 laptop i7s getting more. Okay, 100,000 that at the moment. That's super cool. That's one of those things where if you really believe in the coin, collect as much as you can. That's kind of what I did with Shiba Inu through the unmineable pool. It was one of those coins that I thought, hey, this is kind of part of the Dogecoin meme. I think it's got good potential. I'm going to set my mining rigs to mine it for a few months, and I collected a ton of it. And I'm just going to hold on to it. If I can sell it, I paid $80, I bought some. And I think the Shiba I have now is worth way more than that. Of course, I mined a bunch of it, but it's one of those things that I was like, hey, I have the ability to mine this. I can mine an incredible amount of it in a short period of time. Why not? And that's kind of what I did. And I'm just going to be holding on to Shiba from now on and seeing where it goes. So that's a great way to look at it as well. George, hello. Nice to see you here. And then Jungle Frog said, I remember when you told us about Shiba Inu mining. Mining that was 2 before it was pumped insanely. So it was crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. It's just, I saw that Unmineable had the ability to mine Shiba using a GPU and Ethereum, network. I took a loss. I was profitable, but I would have been earning more had I been mining Ethereum. To me, that was fine. I said, whatever. I'm just gonna take it how it is. Yeah, and do that. So it was a risk I took, and so far it's paid off. I haven't taken any profits from it, but right now I could take profits if I wanted to. So let's see. Shadowman, you said, took the words out of my mouth with watching to earn Hideout and Loot TV. Those are great ways to earn on those auto faucets. You don't have to do anything. Just set your computer up and let it run. Turn off your monitor. If it's a laptop, set it to stay awake on close. Just let it run. Like I said, I had a laptop here that I just turn on, connect to it via remote desktop, whether it's, Microsoft Remote Desktop or Chrome Remote Desktop. Just check, make sure the videos are still running. From there, just claim and let it do its thing. So, super cool. It's a great, great system. And then Jungle Frog, you said I'm subbed already, so thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Like I said, this has been one of the most successful live streams I've ever had. We've got a ton of chats, 8-9 people. So thank you guys so much for coming in here. It's super cool that this has been a year. It's really cool to be able to do this live stream and all of that. So I think I've gotten some good feedback on some of the videos, and I know Hamza said I think he would like a webcam style video, so might consider doing that. But super cool. So thank you so much for the support, everybody. But continuing on here, we'll probably go for another maybe 15 or 20 minutes here, and then probably wrap it up here, so assuming we continue getting chats. So the Jungle Frog, you said, I got... wait a minute. I got lost again. Okay, so you said I got Loot TV and Hideout running on the decenter, then in another computer. running them on Brave so I can maximize my coins. Yeah, that's another great way, is if you find a browser like Brave that'll, do that for you. So super cool. There's a lot of different ways that you can double, triple, and quadruple up on your earnings, um, and really boost your earnings for something that you would have already been doing. So that's what's really cool. And if you got a computer that's, maybe too old to use as a daily computer, it's a little bit slower, but maybe it's still a dual core or a quad core that works well, that could be a great computer to set up in the corner, program it to, claim from Hideout TV, Loot TV, all of the auto faucets, maybe even set up the faucet collector bot on it. I think that's something that is super doable. That's how I've always done it, is I've got a few older laptops. And even if you don't have an older computer, go on Craigslist, go on eBay, find a cheap quad core computer. You might only spend $50, $60 and get a working computer. Maybe throw an SSD in there for another $40, $50, and you could have a really good, crypto server type of computer. So that's another option. If you want to get into mining, you like the computers but maybe don't have the funds to do it, get into mining through faucets. That's a new way that I think is a really cool way. And I say mining through faucets because it's like mining. You're not doing any actual work. You're going to have a little bit of maintenance on it, but you would have that on mining crypto, or mining rigs as well. So, all right, so let's see here. We're kind of trying to catch up a little bit. So, again, Endless Routes, I just got back to your chat. Again, thank you so much for the support through the super chat. Like I said, that's you're the first person to ever do a super chat, so that's super cool. Thank you so much for that again. The Jungle Frog said I'd super chat, but they keep deleting my PayPal because maybe I think too broadly or something. Hey, no problem. Hey, I appreciate the you saying you would want to do it. Like I said, I enabled that feature. It's just there if people want to do it. Same as the joining. If you want to support the channel a little more, there is that join button. You get access to a private Discord, obviously shout outs and videos and stuff like that. And then you do get a nice little animation of the Bitcoin Tips logo. The longer you stay, the logo will change colors to show your commitment and all that. But like I said, that's just something that's enabled there. I'll mention it every once in a while, but absolutely not needed. It's just if you really do enjoy the channel, it does help out here quite a bit. So let's see. Endless Rush said, no problem, friend. Keep up the great work. Hey, thank you so much. Like I said, I'm not planning on slowing down anywhere in the near future on the channel. I want to try and continue to do a live stream every Saturday, about this time. But, sometimes things come up and you can't do it. So I try to do a live stream every week. And, video Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then occasionally I'll do some YouTube shorts. So super cool. Like I said, I'm thinking of different ways to change up the channel. Maybe set up a little bit of a set here with the computer set up for doing some different style videos. So I think that'll be kind of cool. But Jungle Frog said, I almost bought a GPU from Parallel Miner, but then we went down, should have got it, even though it was way scalp price, because the only place I know can buy with crypto. Yeah, that's something that you can. Wow, I'm totally lost my train of thought there. That's something that is important to look at as well. Is do you want to spend your crypto to buy GPUs? That was how I originally built my first GPU rig. It was all paid for with crypto. It was back in 2017 when you could go and just easily exchange crypto into Amazon gift cards. That was pretty much how I built that rig. Was through Amazon, but I used all crypto. So had I saved that crypto and just held on to it, it probably would have been worth a lot more. But I had wanted to get into mining for a while, and I'm happy with the decision I went with. I still have just about, I only got rid of one of the GPUs. It was a 1063 gigabyte I sold about a year ago. So other than that, I still have the entire original mining rig. But yeah, that's something you got to think about as well. Endless Route, you said my helium story. I ordered 3 miners in April 21. 2 arrived in November, and then December. I'm still waiting on the 3rd. Wow. Well, hopefully you get it, and if not, I certainly hope you get your money back for it, but hopefully you can start making some profits, because as far as I know, helium is still doing halfway decent when it comes to price. $31. Oh, halfway decent. That's pretty great. Okay, I guess it's down over 3 months, but so is everything. So, I mean, looking year to date, all right, that's a little bit more painful, but either way, you're probably still doing okay. I don't know how much mining. I think it has to do with your location and all of that. Like I said, I never got into it, but I would have liked to. And exactly what Endless Route said there. To me, I wasn't willing to take the risk of possibly waiting months and months and months and not knowing what's going to happen to crypto. That was just the decision I came to. But it was, oh well, maybe I missed out, maybe I didn't. Who knows? But the Jungle Frog, you said, I tried to get the free one back when they were doing free promotions, but my zone wasn't one they needed. I live in rural America. Yeah, that was what I tried to do as well. I tried to get one, and I'm in a smaller town, and I had put in that address, and it didn't. They'll still email me and say, hey, we're waiting for more people to come online in your area. We still have your contact info. And I said, yeah, well, if it ever happens, send me one. If not, oh well. But let's see here. Mike, you said, great stream. Thanks for the content on your channel. Hey, no problem. Thank you for supporting the channel so much. Commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing, all of that, really does help out quite a bit. So, Jungle Frog, you said, true, my older Toshiba satellite i7 is actually great for farming with cheap SSD upgrade. Exactly. You don't need a huge SSD. You can go on Newegg or Amazon and buy a 128 gig SSD. As long as it holds Windows and, maybe 10 to 15 gigs of other programs, you could probably get away with, a 32 might be pushing it. A 64 gig SSD for cheap. That's what I did. My HP that I have, an older HP Pavilion from 2014 or 2015, I threw a 128 gig SSD in there, and it's slightly faster, but, it's got 8 gigs of RAM and a quad-core i5, so it does what I need it to, and it works for the little bit of crypto farming. But, you said, can I add, Ken Shun said, can I add some of us as moderators? That's a really good point. There we go. I think I know how to do that. Ken Shun, I'll make you a moderator. Mike, you can be a moderator too. I don't know what that gives you access to. But I think you can just delete comments or post comments or something in here. If anybody else, Mike and Ken Shun, I know you guys are in most of the streams. I've talked to you guys quite a bit throughout the last year, so you can both be moderators if you want. I don't know what does a YouTube stream. Wow. I don't know what they actually get to do. A moderator is someone the creator trusts help build a positive, safe channel experience for their community. A moderator helps review and manage comments people leave on a video or the message participants send during live stream chats. All right, there you go. So yeah, you can help, and maybe that gives you access to reply to comments. I don't know, but yeah, well, there you go. So why not? But yeah, like I said, as the streams continue to grow, that's probably not a bad idea. So, Jungle Frog said, oof, my daily nano payout just come to the KuCoin. So yeah, I mean, hey, hopefully you're still making money, but if not, it happens that way. So all right, let's see here. Oh, you said actually profits went up. That's great to see. And then George, you said check out Midas. I know you've mentioned this one before. I'm going to switch to CoinMarketCap. All right, yeah, so let's see, three months. They're still doing really good. They've been pretty resistant to this. I mean, obviously they've been doing pretty good. They're down today a little bit. Well, they're up today, but they're down this week a little bit, I guess. Not even. So still super cool. They've got a pretty... their volume is down almost 100%, but, I mean, still, it's doing pretty good. So another coin to keep an eye on, I guess. But let's see... George, 4-year anniversary. Okay, yeah. And then Endless Routes, you said exactly, helium miners like to take their time on delivery, stick to GPU mining. I think the helium miner issue was it was so popular, it was so simple, you didn't really have to worry about electricity costs because it uses so little, that everybody wanted to get one. It was, everybody, people that I know that have no interest in crypto, that don't do anything outside of ordered their helium miner, bought them. there are people that come up to me and say, hey, like, I know you were into crypto. Like, how do you know about, like, what do you think about this helium? I bought some miners. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, what do you need help with? And I'm like, well, I don't know where to get the helium. I don't know where to send it. What do I do with it? And, like, they don't know anything about crypto. And that's not a bad thing, but it just shows that how popular they were, and they couldn't keep up with the production of them. So that's something that comes up too. The Jungle Frog, you said 2.4 cents of Nano, 24 hours, ETH Nano pool, 2 miner on the 2060. Hey, that's not bad. I don't know what your electric costs are, but that's still pretty good. So, and then Mike and Kenshawn said, awesome, thank you. Yes, to keep keep it on your subject and make sure questions are answered. Yeah, there you go. Hey, I mean, I appreciate you offering. If either of you didn't want it, or if you don't do anything with it, that's fine. But like I said, so far in these streams, I've been able to get everybody's questions answered, at least fairly decently, I think, in order. But, like I said, even this stream today, I've struggled to keep up a little bit, which is definitely a good thing. But I'm glad that you're willing to help out. And like I said, supporting the channel really does help out, supporting in the streams and all that. So hopefully you enjoy the moderator role. And then the Jungle Frog said, yeah, I got a 128 gig SSD for $20 from eBay. And then you can use it multiple windows for video farming. Before it was a hard drive, it wasn't working too well. Yeah, I mean, those hard drives, especially in older laptops, they start to go bad, slow down, and it just can really take a lot of time, and then it could just crash at any time too. So yeah, 20 to 40 bucks, I think you could get a good SSD, not even name brand, but super simple. So, and then Jungle Froggy said, also there are a lot of computer desktops and laptops that get thrown by dumpsters, so keep your eyes out for that. E-Waste i7 by the dumpster, that's 1 to 3 mega hash just waiting for you. Hey, I mean, that's another thing. Depending on how committed you are to mining or, setting up a farming rig, go to Best Buy, check around their dumpsters or something. I don't know if that's illegal or not, but, I would do some research on it. So, but, that's a thing to look into as well. And then the Jungle Frog said, my electric is free here, my place, so it's really profiting, but the rate is 13 cents, so not sure if it's a good rate, though. Well, hey, free electric doesn't get much better than that, but 13 cents is a little above average, I think, in the U.S., but I think you said you were in the U.S., but let's see, someone said you said rural America, so that's not bad, but, definitely still nice that you have the free electric there. And then, Mike, you said, LOL, you're great with comments, but happy to be a moderator, appreciate the spanner next to my icon. Hey, yeah, no problem. Thanks for willing to show up in the streams and support the channel both in stream as well as in comments of pre-recorded videos. And like I said, if you guys ever think of something, if we end the stream and an hour later you're like, oh my goodness, this is a great question, just go and comment on any of the last videos. So far the streams have been pretty lightly attended, only 7 or 8 people. That's not a ton compared to some of these other streams, but that's actually fairly large for my streams, especially how consistent it's been. I should recognize everybody's name that was in this stream today. If you comment on a video, I'll see it and then usually try to reply at least once a day to all the comments. But yeah, so again, thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for the support. Again, Endless Routes, if you're still here, thank you so much for the super chat. It does mean a lot that you're willing to support the channel with that super chat. That's super cool. If you guys really do want to support the channel, like, subscribe, share the videos. That really does help out. Probably going to get ready to wrap up this stream here, but thank you so much for a successful first year here on the new Bitcoin tips. Whether you've been here for a day or the whole year, thank you for the support. It does mean a lot. Like I said, do continue to plan on doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos and try and do a stream at least once a week. So